Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead. Today I'm going to make a holiday treat that my mother used to make, and it's actually a recipe of my aunt's. God rest their souls. It's called Aunt Doll's Butterscotch Squares. I'm sure somebody else has made it. It's got a different name, but this is all I've ever known it as. And what we're going to need for this, now I'm making a triple recipe, so I'll post the single recipe in the video, but I'm making a triple one, and for that I need 3 cups of brown sugar, 3 teaspoons of vanilla, 3/4 of a pound of butter, 3 eggs, 3 cups of flour, and 3 teaspoons of baking powder. And with that, we'll get onto it right away. All right, first off, we're going to measure out our 3 cups of flour here. There we go. Now, in here we're going to add our 3 teaspoons of baking powder. A little bit more than that. That's about right. And then we're going to sift it. Woo! There we go. All nice and sifted. Now that that's ready, what we're going to do is we're going to go and take the butter and the brown sugar and we're going to melt it together, and then as it cools a little bit we're going to beat in the eggs. So let's meet up over at the stove. Alrighty, we have our 3/4 of a pound of butter in the saucepan here, and we're just going to add the brown sugar and we're just going to melt this together. And while that's melting, we should add our vanilla. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. I love that smell of vanilla. Best perfume in the world. I'll tell you, it wasn't Chanel. I do have Chanel No. 5 I got as a Christmas gift one year because it reminds me of my mother. But I'll tell you something. If I want to be snuggled up to, I just dab on a little vanilla behind my ears. I'm not kidding, girls. It really does work. All right, we're melting this together. Now we really don't want this to get too hot because we're going to be beating our eggs into here. We just want to melt it. Okay folks, my vanilla and brown sugar and butter have melted, and it's not too hot, so we can hopefully beat these eggs in. And the recipe literally said beat the shit out of it. So I'm going to do this one egg at a time because it's still hot enough. I don't want it cooking the egg. There's one. Whoops. Yeah, I know. My son's over in there. He's hearing he knows what I'm making. And next to snowballs, this is one of his favorites. I'll meet you at the kitchen table. Okay. We have our butterscotch mixture here, and now we're just going to start beating in our flour and baking powder. Whoa! There we go. I'm losing a beater there. Now we're just going to stir in our pecans. Excuse me, pecans. I'll call them pecans today. There we go. And when I say that, folks, I'm not making fun of the accent. It's just I've been corrected a couple of times. So now this recipe calls for walnuts, but I have a problem with walnuts. They seem to burn my mouth. So I use pecans, or it's my favorite nut. Let's put it that way. Alrighty. Now I'm just going to scrape this off, and we're going to use this ladle to fill our tins. And I've buttered these even though they're non-stick. And we're going to do these nuts are really big. We're going to do our level best to get them dead center in the middle of each tin. And I'll be back when I have these filled. Alright folks, batch number 1's going in the oven. We'll be back when these come out, when they're golden brown. There it is, folks, fresh out of the oven. Now you see all these little cracks in here? That means they're done. Okay, these are going to be nice and ooey gooey good. I've heard them called blondies because they're similar to a brownie without the chocolate. Well, here they are, folks. Shall we do a taste test? Let's pick this one that's kind of broken. Butterscotch pecan squares, or rounds or whatever. I hate to leave you like this, but I need to go finish this with a cup of tea. God bless you, Aunt Doll. They're the best. Merry Christmas.